Read the poem, then answer the questions that follow. The Old Oaken Bucket by Samuel Woodworth. How dear to my heart are the scenes of my childhood, when fond recollection presents them to view. The orchard, the meadow, the deep tangled wildwood, and every loved spot which my infancy knew. The wide-spreading pond and the mill which stood by it, the bridge and the rock where the cataract fell, the cot of my father, the dairy house nigh it, and e'en the rude bucket which hung in the well. The old oaken bucket, the iron-bound bucket, the moss-covered bucket which hung in the well. That moss-covered bucket I hailed as a treasure, for often at noon when returned from the field, I found it the source of an exquisite pleasure, the purest and sweetest that nature can yield. How ardent I seized it with hands that were glowing, and quick to the white pebbled bottom it fell. Then soon with the emblem of truth overflowing, and dripping with coolness it rose from the well. The old oaken bucket, the iron-bound bucket, the moss-covered bucket arose from the well. How sweet from the green mossy brim to receive it, as poised on the curb it inclined to my lips. Not a full blushing goblet could tempt me to leave it, though filled with the nectar that Jupiter sips. And now far removed from the loved situation, the tear of regret will intrusively swell, as fancy reverts to my father's plantation, and sighs for the bucket which hangs in the well. The old oaken bucket, the iron-bound bucket, the moss-covered bucket which hangs in the well. Cataract, a large waterfall or steep rapids. Cot, a small house. Number 1. Which two statements best describe how the second stanza of the poem contributes to its overall meaning? A. It contrasts the battered old bucket with the surrounding beauty of nature. B. It develops the setting by listing the different features of the family's farm. C. It provides detailed information about how to operate an old-fashioned well. D. It describes the speaker's fond memories of drawing water from the well. E. It explains why the iron on the bucket felt like it was glowing with heat. F. It expresses how much the speaker looked forward to a cold drink from the well. Number 2. The following question has 2 parts. First answer part A, then answer part B. Part A. Read line 17 from the poem. Then, soon, with the emblem of truth overflowing. What is the emblem of truth in this line? A. The deep stone well. B. The well's wooden bucket. C. The well's white pebbles. D. The water from the well. Part B. Which of the following lines from the poem best supports the answer to part A? A. The orchard, the meadow, and deep tangled wildwood. B. How ardent I seized it with hands that were glowing. C. And dripping with coolness it rose from the well. D. As fancy reverts to my father's plantation. Number 3. The following question has 2 parts. First answer part A, then answer part B. Part A. Which of the following best expresses the central theme of the poem? A. A poor life on a farm is better than a rich one in town. B. Remembering better times can result in deep regrets. C. Living in the past keeps one from enjoying the present. D. Good memories take on greater meaning as time passes. Part B. Which line from the poem best supports the answer to part A? A. How dear to my heart are the scenes of my childhood. B. The cot of my father, the dairy house nigh it. C. And quick to the white pebbled bottom it fell. D. Though filled with nectar that Jupiter sips. Number 4. Which line from the poem best supports the idea that the narrator frequently went to the well after working all morning on the farm? A. That moss-covered bucket I hailed as a treasure. B. For often at noon when returned from the field. C. I found it the source of an exquisite pleasure. D. The purest and sweetest that nature can yield. E. How ardent I seized it with hands that were glowing. Number 5, part A. The following question has 2 parts. First answer part A, then answer part B. Part A. Read the following lines from the poem. Not a full blushing goblet could tempt me to leave it, though filled with the nectar that Jupiter sips. Which best describes what the poet means to express this figurative language? A. Nothing could taste better to him than the water from the well. B. The sweetness of the water attracted him like a bee to honey. C. Drinking from the big bucket made him imagine he was a Roman god. D. The water was all he had to drink, so he tried to make the best of it. Part B. Select 2 lines from the poem that best support the answer to Part A. A. An Eden the rude bucket which hung in the well. B. I found it the source of an exquisite pleasure. C. The purest and sweetest that nature can yield. D. And now far removed from the loved situation. E. The tear of regret will intrusively swell. F. The old oaken bucket, the iron-bound bucket.